sports card dealer who enjoys ASMR about sports. That could be sports card talk, that could be prediction videos, that could just be rambling fantasy football. I do enjoy all of those videos. I hadn't seen much of a niche of people dealing sports cards. It's mostly been opening sports cards packs, which I do enjoy, and I will probably end up making some of those videos myself. But I figured I would start this channel just talking about what's like as a sports card dealer, a little bit of the ins and outs, what I think of the cards, and also just ramble a bit about the players themselves. So today I have 4 smaller lots that I'm going to share. I'm going to show 5 of my recent sales. I will share a PC card or 2 of mine, and then I can finish up this video with packing up some of these orders. So with all that being said, let's jump into the first lot. So this first lot is a lot of 2022 Panini Classic cards. I got 6 of them for $69. Nice. And I think I got a pretty good value on it, especially this last card in here. So the first one I have is this Aiden Hutchinson rookie tribute out of 60. It is a bookend card, so it is 60 of 60, which there seems to be a market for bookend cards. People enjoy it when it's either the beginning number or the last number of a numbered set. So this one ought to do pretty well. Maybe slightly better, maybe a 2 to 5% increase from just the normal value of the card. I had previously talked a little bit about Aiden Hutchinson in some of my previous videos. I think he's a very good player, top 5 defender in the league. The Lions just did not have a great year this year, kind of took a step back, but I do think he's very talented. I believe he did break his arm this year, so bounce back year coming. Solid player, elite. Next, I have this Dallas Goedert autograph card, gold out of 35. The Eagles did not have the best year. They ended up cleaning house on a lot of their offensive staff. You wonder at this point if Nick Sirianni, even though he's a Super Bowl coach, is he a great coach? I generally wonder that. I think Eagles fans probably wonder that. Let me know if you're an Eagles fan what you think about Sirianni. This card is actually pretty solid. Goddard's a solid player. Probably get about $8-10 out of it, hopefully. The next I have is this no-name variation of Hassan Haskins' rookie card. And it is also a bookend. It is 1 out of 10. I'm honestly not really sure where Hassan Haskins even plays right now. I think he might be on the Chargers. Totally could be wrong. I think he's probably just a guy at this point. I don't think he's got a crazy good in market, but these kind of cards always do sell if you're just patient and can wait it out. I have a Deebo Samuel, a nice little refractor. Deebo had a great few years with the 49ers, ended up going to the Commanders last year, didn't have the best year. I have to think that's more about Jaden Daniels not being quarterback and less about Deebo Samuel taking a step back. He's just an absolute bulldog, fun player to watch. I'm kind of a sneaky Commanders fan. I am a Chiefs fan, just as my main team growing up. Been a huge Chiefs guy, but I kind of always like the underdog teams. Commanders do seem like a team coming up and are fun. I have this John Mechie gold card as well. It is out of 75. I know he got traded this year. I can't think of where he went to. He was a very solid player at Alabama. Really thought he was going to come into the league and be at least a very serviceable wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 type of guy. Ended up having some health issues that derailed a little bit of his career early on. I still think he's got a little bit of potential to be a solid rotational guy. The funny part about this card, and what I noticed when I got this lot, is that I have this card, I have the Dallas Goddard card, and I have the Aiden Hutchinson card. Anything you notice about these is that they all appear to be pretty gold. This one maybe being orange, but I just always find it funny that these brands make so many variations now of golds and everything. It's like, what happened to just having the golds be out of 10 or 50, or limiting them? But they want to make money, they want to make it more exclusive or feel more exclusive by getting more hits, getting more sales. I get it, but kind of takes away just a slight bit of the luster of getting some of these cards. However, this card is a monster. This is the main card that I bought the lot for. Myles Garrett, 5 out of 5, teal. So it is a bookend, timeless as well. This guy is just, what is there to say about this guy? He had a monster year, set the new sack record. There was one additional game compared to Michael Strahan, so people tend to kind of wonder, oh, is it as legit? Absolutely is legit. He played one extra game, but he had 25 less pass rush attempts to get a sack than Strahan's record. This man is an absolute menace, constantly getting pressure on the quarterback. It just is more of a show that he's able to get this record with such a bad offensive team in front of him. He will certainly be a Hall of Fame player when he's done. I think there could eventually be an argument for him being the greatest defender player of all time. I don't think he's passing Lawrence Taylor at this point, but he is absolutely something special to watch right now, and just an absolute joy, and just how explosive and good he is. His market obviously has exploded. Probably this is $60, $70 card, so I almost can make the whole lot back probably on this card alone. My next lot, speaking of defensive goats, is these two Aaron Donald rookie cards. I got these for about $6. The first one is this orange refractor. It sells for about $9-10 online right now. And then I just have this normal refractor, which sells for about $3, $4, $5. I think there's an argument for him as well to be arguably one of the best top 3, maybe the best defensive players of all time, just with how effective and how good he was in the stretches that he played. If you haven't seen the clip of him, there is one of him and DK Metcalf talking about bench pressing, and who is stronger in the video. And DK Metcalf kind of tries to play it like he's strong, because DK Metcalf is no slouch in himself, but Aaron Donald just absolutely floors him with how much he says that he bench. I believe it was 500 pounds, which I can't even imagine. That's so much weight. But this guy, I know he's retired. I can't imagine that he's a guy that isn't going to be lifting and staying strong for the rest of his life. Just an absolute joy to watch. So my next lot I got 5 cards for $60. I only have 4 cards here because I have already sold one of them. It is this Will Levis PSA 8 out of 99 auto. I sold it for about $11, which not very much money, not very sexy, but I think with some of these lots I just tried to sell some of the cheaper parts of the lot and try to get some money back, so I know what I gotta sell the more expensive lots for. So the remaining portion of this lot was this Eddie George 1998 SP Authentic card. It's got a cool little card sleeve with it. I've never seen any like that. It's got the extra little tail at the end of it. Eddie George, great running back. This is from his Oilers days, so pre-Texans days or Titans days, Sorry. But great running back. The card is actually in pretty great condition for being from 1998. So props to whoever has owned this card in the past. I've actually sold this card this weekend, and I will talk a little bit more about it when I get to the sales section portion of this. I have this Steve McNair 1995 Superior Picks card, draft card. It is numbered 2938 of 3000. If you can see that, I wasn't sure if it's a rookie card. You can kind of barely see the autograph. It's in blue, so it's not the sexiest autograph, but it is kind of cool. In his old Alcorn State jersey, before he got to the NFL, I think it will probably sell for about $20, $25 is what this is selling for. There's actually a pretty surprising amount of sales of this card in the last year or two, so hopefully get some money off of that. Obviously, he passed away in a tragic accident, death, but great player. Enjoyed watching him when I was a kid, and we will see what happens with this card. The next card I have was this out of 99 Dan Pastorini autograph card. I'll be honest, I don't know who Dan Pastorini is. I probably should. I am a football guy, and I do like the history of the sport, so I probably should know who he is, especially if they're making cards of him still. So he just appears to be a bit before my time, but this card is actually sold already, so I'm glad that the Pastorini lovers out there is getting this card and can enjoy it a little bit more than I can. The last card I have is this Devondre Big Boy Grillin' on the Roof Sweat. It is a Mosaic rookie auto out of 10. 2 out of 10. This guy is just an absolute monster. 365-pound nose tackle. Not the prettiest position. This card is a defensive player. He doesn't get a bunch of stats, but I do think he did have a pretty good rookie year with the Titans. So we will see what it sells for. I think I'm going to list it for about $50. It's always a little bit harder to sell these defensive players, so I'll probably will have to wait a little bit to get a sale on this one. But I do think it was a good pickup in the grand scheme of this lot. Alright, and then my final lot. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I've been buying quite a bit of Cam Ward cards. Will it backfire? It's absolutely possible, but as I said before, I just thought he looked sneaky good, especially at the end of the year. It's funny to say he looked sneaky good because he was the number one overall pick. So you would think this guy's hype would be through the roof, but the Titans were just not a very good team this year. But I thought he just looked really good with the limited weapons that he had. DK and Manor and Gunnar Helm. They had Pollard and Tajay Spears. I mean, none of those guys are really household names or guys that you would expect to elevate the level of the quarterback play. But we will see. Time will tell on these. Probably not the last you're going to see of me buying Cam Ward cards. So this first one I have is this CGC Bowman Chrome out of 10, or not out of 10, CGC 10 Bowman Chrome first Bowman card. The CGC cards not as highly sought after as PSA, so it's going to be listed cheaper. But again, people love cheap slabs. If it has a 10 on it, people tend to want to buy it even for a slightly less price. The next I have was this CGC 10 again. Topps Now draft card, just from his draft first pick card. This card probably like a $10, $15 card. Not really expecting to get a bunch out of it, but it is just a card. You list it out there. People always like slabs. I got this CGC 10 again. This is his Donruss Ray rookie card in his jersey. I expect this one to do a little bit better. Nothing crazy. 19 bucks, 25 bucks, somewhere in there. I think especially if I just list this card for $30, I bet you by around the time the season comes, this card will sell for a price that I'm looking for. Again, the first 3 cards I got in this lot were not really the main reason I bought this lot. The final card was the reason why I bought this card. So it is a wild card, 1/1 comics laser variation. This card is not licensed, so you can see that he doesn't have his Titans jersey or helmet or name, so they don't necessarily sell as much. This product itself is not super highly sought after, but it is still a autograph card, 1/1 of the top pick in the draft. So I would expect, again, by the time the season comes around, I can probably get around $100 for this card, and that would easily clear me of the value of the lot. So those are all the lots that I have purchased since my last video has come in. So the next section of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 5 sales that I had this past weekend. Actually, it was really only on Friday night that all of these sold. I tend to have more success selling on the weekends, especially those Fridays and Saturdays when people get their paychecks and want to buy sports cards. Do I do that myself for my own personal collection? Absolutely. When the money comes in, it just is very hard not to want to buy cards. So the 5 sales that I had, as mentioned before, was this Dan Pastorini at a 99. I sold this for $8. I think I calculated I was in it for about $4 or $5. So it'll be very close to breaking even or getting $1 or $2 out of it. Again, as I said before, I just kind of want to move the lower stuff, see what I can get on the higher stuff, and try to make money off of those. So I'm glad whoever got this is going to be able to enjoy it. Another card that you've already seen is this Eddie George SP Authentic. I sold this one for $25. I calculated that I was in about $10 for it, so I'm going to end up getting about $8 out of this card. This one is a Tyrese Halliburton Prism rookie card. I actually had this card listed in auction for 99 cents for it went to auction at least 5, 6, 7 times. I got no shame in my game. I will sell the dollar cards if people want to buy them and add them to their personal collection, or try to hold it and sell it themselves. I'm more than happy to accommodate that. The hobby's for everyone, so I'm not ever too worried about selling cheaper cards or more expensive cards. I had this Zion Williamson out of 20 pink mosaic disco card from the 2024-2025 set. I actually think I lost a little bit on this one. I bought this in a lot probably about 8 months ago, sold the rest of this lot, and I was up a little bit on it, so I sold this one for 20 bucks. I was in it for about $20, so with fees, I ended up losing a few dollars on it, which is fine. You're not always going to make profit off of cards, but if you can get the money back and put it into something else, then that's what I prefer. This last one is this Bryce Harper 2016 Optic out of 199 PSA 10 card that I had. I also bought this card at the beginning of last baseball season for about $30, thinking that the Phillies would make another good run or the card would sell. It didn't. There's not been a lot of interest in it until now, for whatever reason, maybe because the baseball season's coming up, but I sold it for $40. So I think I came out a few bucks on it. So I didn't lose much money on it. At least got money out of it. Excuse me. So take that money, put it into something else. Missouri football, well, any Missouri sports fan. I believe Cody Schrader is still on a practice squad in the NFL on the 49ers or Rams. I can't remember which one. Theo Weiss is on the Dolphins, and then I'm sure you probably heard of Luther Burden, just an absolute stud of a receiver on the Bears. I like this card. I picked it up pretty recently for pretty cheap. It is a 3 out of 3. So I hope they continue to do well in this league, and Luther Burden can burgeon into the superstar he looked like towards the end of last year. So before I get into the packaging of these videos, I just want to say thank you all for watching. First, if you like this content, please like and subscribe to this video. I do have all these cards will be up for sale. So I have my eBay description in this video and on my page for YouTube. So if you're interested, always reach out to me. Let me know. Without further ado, let's get into packaging some of these cards. this card sell as a PWE card, which means that it needs to go in a plain white envelope. So these do not fit and the weight doesn't work, so I have to take it out of here carefully.